Welcome to our journey into the world of data structures. In this video, we'll explore what data structures are, why they're essential, and how they shape the way we organize and process information. We'll start by defining basic terminology and concepts, then move on to practical examples that illustrate how data is organized. By the end, you'll have a solid foundation for understanding the different types of data structures and the operations you can perform on them. Let's dive in and see how data structures help us solve real-world problems efficiently. Data is simply a collection of values or sets of values. A data item refers to a single unit of value, while group items are data items that can be divided into subitems. For example, an employee's name can be split into first name, middle initial, and last name, whereas a social security number is typically treated as a single, indivisible item. Understanding these distinctions is crucial for organizing and processing data effectively. Entity is anything that has certain attributes or properties which can be assigned values. For instance, an employee is an entity and their attributes might include name, age, and social security number. When multiple entities share similar attributes, they form an entity set. Each attribute has a range of possible values, and when data is given meaning through these attributes, it becomes information. Data is often organized into a hierarchy: fields, records, and files. A field represents a single attribute of an entity such as name or age. A record is a collection of field values for a specific entity, like all the details for one employee. A file is a collection of records representing all entities in an entity set. This structure helps us manage and retrieve information efficiently. In a file, certain fields can uniquely identify a record. These are called primary keys. For example, in an automobile inventory, the serial number serves as a primary key because each car has a unique serial number. The values in these fields are called key values. Choosing the right primary key is essential for efficient data retrieval and management. Records in a file can be of fixed or variable length. Fixed-length records have the same data items and space for each record, making them easy to manage. Variable-length records, on the other hand, can differ in size, such as student records where the number of courses varies. Each approach has its advantages depending on the nature of the data. For more complex data collections, we need advanced structures beyond fields, records, and files. The study of data structures involves three main steps: describing the structure logically or mathematically, implementing it on a computer, and analyzing its memory and processing requirements. These steps help us choose the right structure for each problem. Data structures can be stored in main primary memory or secondary external storage. This video focuses on main memory, where access time is consistent regardless of location. File management and database systems, which deal with secondary storage, involve different techniques and are beyond our current scope. A data structure is a logical or mathematical model for organizing data. The choice of structure depends on how well it represents real-world relationships and how easily it can be processed. We'll introduce several common data structures, each with unique strengths for different tasks. Arrays are the simplest data structure. A linear or one-dimensional array is a list of similar data elements, each referenced by a consecutive number or subscript. For example, an array named student might store the names of 6 students, with each name accessible by its position in the array. Arrays can also be two-dimensional, like tables or matrices, and even multi-dimensional for more complex data. Arrays can be represented using different notations: subscript, parenthesis, or bracket. For example, A1, or A1 all refer to the first element. The choice of notation often depends on the context: mathematics or computer programming. Regardless of notation, arrays provide a straightforward way to organize and access data. Two-dimensional array organizes data in rows and columns like a table. For instance, a chain of stores might use a 28x4 array to track weekly sales for each department in each store. Each element is referenced by two subscripts, one for the store, one for the department. This structure is especially useful for representing matrices and tables. Linked lists provide a flexible way to store data, especially when the number of elements can change frequently. Each element, or node, contains data and a pointer to the next node. This allows for efficient insertion and deletion, as elements do not need to be stored in contiguous memory locations. Linked lists are ideal for dynamic data sets. In linked lists, pointers are used to connect nodes. A pointer in one list can reference an element in a different list, while a link typically refers to a connection within the same list. This distinction helps clarify how data is connected and accessed, especially in more complex structures. Linked lists can be organized in different ways to optimize data access. For example, pointers can be arranged so each salesperson points to their first customer and each customer points to the next, ending with a special value like 0. This makes it easy to traverse all customers for a salesperson and efficiently insert or delete records. Trees are data structures that represent hierarchical relationships. Each tree has a root and branches out to various levels. For example, an employee record can be represented as a tree, with group items like name and address further divided into subitems. Trees are powerful for modeling data with parent-child relationships. Trees can also represent algebraic expressions showing the order of operations. For example, the expression 2x plus y, a minus 7b3 can be visualized as a tree where each node represents an operation and the structure reflects the sequence in which calculations are performed. This visual approach clarifies complex expressions. Stack is a linear data structure where elements are added and removed from the top only. This last-in, first-out LIFO approach is similar to a stack of plates you add to the top and remove from the top. Stacks are widely used in programming for tasks like function calls and undo operations. Queue is another linear data structure, but it operates on a first-in, first-out FIFO basis. Elements are inserted at the rear and removed from the front, just like people lining up at a ticket counter. Queues are essential for managing tasks in order, such as print jobs or customer service requests. Graphs are data structures that model relationships between pairs of elements which may not be hierarchical. For example, an airline's flight map can be represented as a graph, where cities are nodes and flights are edges. Graphs are versatile and used in many applications from social networks to transportation systems. Different data structures use different terms for their elements. You might hear data element, record, node, or data object, depending on the context. For example, record is used for files while node is common in linked lists, trees, and graphs. Understanding these terms helps you navigate the world of data structures. Data structures support various operations, and the choice of structure often depends on which operations are most frequent. The four main operations are traversing, accessing each record once, searching, finding a record by key, inserting, adding a new record, and deleting, removing a record. Mastering these operations is key to effective data management. Sorting arranges records in a logical order, such as alphabetically or numerically. Merging combines records from two sorted files into one. These operations are essential for organizing and integrating data, making it easier to search and analyze information. Let's look at practical examples. Traversing a membership file to send mail, searching for members in a specific area, inserting a new member, or deleting a record when someone leaves. These everyday tasks highlight the importance of efficient data structure operations in organizations. An algorithm is a well-defined list of steps for solving a problem. In data structures, algorithms are used to process data efficiently. The efficiency of an algorithm is measured by its time and space complexity, which depend on the size of the input and the chosen data structure. The complexity of an algorithm refers to the resources it uses, mainly time and space. Time complexity measures how long an algorithm takes to run, while space complexity measures the memory it uses. Understanding complexity helps us choose the most efficient algorithms for our data structures. Sometimes we can trade space for time or vice versa. For example, storing extra data can speed up processing, but it uses more memory. Conversely, saving space might slow down operations. The right balance depends on the problem and available resources. Searching for data can be done in different ways. Linear search checks each record one by one, making it simple but slow for large files. Binary search, on the other hand, quickly narrows down the search by repeatedly dividing the list in half, but it requires the data to be sorted. The choice of search algorithm affects both speed and structure. Suppose you have a file sorted by name for fast binary search, but you also need to search by social security number. You could keep a second file sorted by number, but that doubles storage. A better solution is to use an auxiliary array with names and pointers to the main file, balancing space and time efficiently. Hashing is a technique for mapping key values like social security numbers to memory addresses. A good hashing function allows for quick access without needing to move data around. However, it requires careful design to avoid wasting space or causing conflicts. Hashing is a powerful tool for efficient data retrieval. We've covered the basics of data structures, including their types, operations, and the importance of algorithms and complexity. Understanding these concepts is the foundation for more advanced topics such as trees, graphs, and hashing, which we'll explore in future chapters. With this knowledge, you're ready to tackle more complex data organization challenges.